Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Your Delusional podcast hosted by myself, LaTerra Wair. Hey, everybody, welcome back to another week. So, guys, we are in the month of August officially. It's my month. We're up, right? No, not really. Nothing too crazy. Guys, I'm turning 26 this year, and I'm going to talk about that in a whole nother podcast episode that'll be coming at the end of the month. I really want to thank you guys so much for the last podcast and just the reaction and just how you guys showed up. I think sometimes I get super nervous to put like my family on camera just because I don't want it to be weird, even though my brother is on camera all the time anyway because he streams. But thank y'all so much for that. Thank you guys so much for all the comments. I sent all of them to him about the podcast and he really enjoyed it. I really like that you guys like the conversation choice. I think that's more so my like normal conversation topic, but it's very serious a lot of times, but it's kind of like one of those dark humor seriousness, and I never just want to put that on people because that's kind of a lot. I say what to say. I'm really glad that you guys did enjoy the podcast episode. We really enjoyed filming it, and I hope to have more like that coming soon to y'all. So that is fun. If you guys have any topics you want me to talk about in like guest episodes and all that kind of stuff, just let me know. Drop those below. But yes, also another fun thing, the podcast was not streaming to Spotify for like 3 months, maybe 2 months, and I didn't know why, and last week it randomly did. So if you were listening on Spotify, hello, thank you so much for joining me. I'm so excited that you're here. Thank you for our Apple listeners as well. You guys are really showing up on that platform, and I really appreciate it, as well as my visual viewers. I love getting to do this with you guys. I truly do. I think that I was always so scared to start the visual aspect of the podcast, but ever since I have, it's been really rewarding, and this is one of my favorite parts of my week. I can't lie to you. And like, it gives me an extra little oomph to do things in my pod room and all that kind of stuff. So that is our weekly little wrap up, I guess, or roundup. I've had a pretty good week. My cousin and her boyfriend just came to stay with me for a week, so that was really fun, and I hope that they get back home safe. It was really nice having her here, and I'm gonna miss her a lot, and I hope she comes back soon. So there's that, and other than that, I got my hair done. I'm gonna post like more photos and stuff like that on Instagram. If you're not following me, follow me on Instagram at LaTerra Wair. I wanted to get into a little topic. I was talking to one of my friends, and we were just talking about like pick me culture, because this comment or this post ran across my Instagram feed, and it was just like a podcast where the girls were just like talking about how like all the girls now are pick-me's and this, and how people are like going towards more so like the modesty movement and this, and that, right? And I don't know how like I felt about it. I don't know like how you guys feel about it. And I kind of did just want to ask and get other people's perspectives. So basically, to give you the backstory, as we've all seen, there has been a real big spike of faith-centered content, I guess you could say. There's been a lot of like my morning routine as a Christian girl, my night routine, my what I wear to the gym for modesty. I know this lady named Brittany Rose. She does a modesty series. Although with her, this is what I was going to say. With her, it specifically is a perfect example of what I'm talking about. She has leaned into more faith-based content, but she has always been a creator who has explained how faith is a very center part of her life. So that's a very, like, I feel like step A, B kind of transition, right? But other people, it's just like they've been making normal content their whole life, and then they start off the gate with this like faith-based content. And it's doing well because a lot of people, I feel like, explore their faith, and so it's easy, as well as it's like an easy grouping or a niche, I should say. More so with like the modesty aspect, I guess, and the girls, it feels like girl on girl crime. Like they're just talking really not greatly about them. And they're basically, from what I got from the post, saying that more women per se now are starting to just like dress nicer or lean into this thing based off like male approval, and that is what leads them to be pick me. I kind of stand on the side of this, of just like, I think it's a little bit of both. I definitely think that there are people who are doing things to seek like the validation of the choosing sex, whether that be male or women. And I think that there are some people who probably can draw inspiration from other creators, like opening up more about their faith and talking about their faith and talking about their walk with faith and how they do certain aspects of their day that help them and lead them more into that. And I think that you can be inspired by something, and a lot of people get inspired and make content because of it. Like, I watch lifestyle creators and I get my inspiration from lifestyle creators, and that is what helps me do my content and inspires me to do my content. I wouldn't necessarily say that I'm trying to be a pick me. I would just think that this is something I'm inspired by and it's something I want to do. But I'm also like not making lifestyle content to like pick up and get a husband or anything like that. And I think for some people it may be like such an aggressive transition. Like, you go from seeing people, how do you say, like a lot more explicit to just being very non-explicit, and it's very in your face, making it seem as if they are doing this for that reason. But again, you never know someone's intentions unless you like go and ask them and really like sit there to study, because you can't see everyone's entire life and their intention and what their goal is through a minute on Instagram or through a minute on TikTok or through a minute on Facebook Reels or Shorts or whatever, right? So I think it is definitely about what has been around in their life and maybe not necessarily what is happening at this very moment. Because a lot of stuff you got to see it through. Like, you got to let it play through, because you could be thinking one way and that is not how it's going to go, like, at all. Listening to the pod, I definitely understood what the girls were saying, but I also was like, this is kind of like hateful. And I think also on the other end of that though, I can see how someone who is like just living their everyday life, posting the content that they've been posting, and then these people who are making this like faith-based transition over are like down talking these people, and that's also what they did explain. And I don't think that's cool. If you were someone who once was in the spaces that you're trying to now like down talk, like, that's really throwing stones at a glass house, to be honest with you, because why are you doing that? Like, are we really that much different? Because it seems like, you know, that person is just putting on this facade, because you don't even know if that's real yet, you know, like, you haven't even been in this for the whole habit making 21 days that they say. But that's kind of how I think about it. I really wanted to come on here and just like talk to y'all about that though, and like ask you, do y'all think that there's been an increase of pick-me's in the world? Do you like the term pick-me? Is it like, do you think it's a one size fits all kind of situation, or do you think that a pick-me is just going to be a pick-me? Because I also feel like that. I feel like some people who are pick-me's, like, that's just their personality type, and you have people who are just going to be like that. It's not necessarily like the trend that's happening right now. That is just who they are in their person. So yeah. But let me know what you guys think about that. Let me know if you guys have like seen that or even know what I'm talking about at all when I say the pick me trend. I would just watch this Poor Minds episode, and they were talking to a comedian, Kev on Stage, who is he's not a faith-based creator. He says he is a comedian who makes faith content or makes like religious content. So they were kind of talking about how there has been an increase in faith-based creators and stuff like that. And they don't really, I guess, they're not unsupportive of it, but they don't like how it kind of, I guess, is being presented and all that kind of mess. So do you guys feel like that? Do you guys feel like there's been an increase of content? For me, on my, like, I don't have a TikTok, but I know that on Instagram Shorts and on Reels, I have seen an increase of just like what I eat in a day for this, what I eat in a day for that, and like that content is booming. But I also think everybody has to eat, so I will continue to watch it as long as it's there. I might start making it. Oh my gosh, that is another thing. I am in the middle of doing a social media, not rebrand, but just like restructuring. So on the tube, it's going to be a lot more of like my strictly long form content. And I'm going to try to branch more into using short form contents on short form platforms like my Instagram basically, and doing all my reels there. Because shorts are really cool and everything like that, but I think sometimes the edits that I want to make with like the music, it's not worth it, because if I don't stick within that 15 seconds, it's like harder in the algorithm for my videos. We're not here to talk about that. That's just something that randomly popped into my brain. So guys, yeah, let me know what you guys think about that. Have you guys seen an increase in pick me culture or anything like that? But moving along, this episode isn't, super structured, nothing. It's just me kind of yapping. I think that this month I don't want to sit down and do super structured episodes. I just kind of want to like talk and be personable and just tell you guys about things that you ask me about in the comments and give like in-depth thoughts on it or whatever. So someone asked me in the comments, hold on, let me pull up the comment. I saw it last week and then I didn't respond to it because I knew I wanted to respond to it in this video. And also, that's another thing. If I ever don't respond to y'all's comments, more than likely it's because I would like to respond to them in the video. They said, do you believe in astrology? How do you feel about zodiac stuff? Much love. Love to you too. Well, I am a Virgo sun. I forget my rising and my moon sign, but I am a Virgo. I was born August 30th of 1999 on a Monday morning, I think night, something. I think it was a Monday night. Yeah, something like that. So anyway, but I believe in zodiacs in a sense of like, I think that people born in similar months do have similar characteristics, or there are characteristics that do fit into certain people. Like, and I don't know what it is about that, but I do believe that. Like, sometimes I go back and forth about it thinking like, are the people maybe just born in certain months, so they're raised certain ways throughout those months, and then that's why they end up being similar. But then you see people who are born like literally the same day, very different people. But then I also know people who are born in completely different places on the exact same day, the exact same year, and they are very identical, and it's kind of creepy. So I don't know if I believe in zodiacs. Like, I wouldn't like bet my life on it or anything like that. I think some people do gas astrology. But I think they're fun. I think it's something that's really cool to look at. I think it could give you a cool little starting compatibility. Just like little fun thing to know about another person. I think that, yeah, that's pretty much the extent of it. I have a Virgo tattoo on my leg. Like I said, I think that it's a really fun kind of thing. It's a cool little like grouping to be in. And if you vibe with your sign, you vibe with your sign. I don't think that you should like base your whole life off your sign, or like talk shit to people or bully people for their signs, especially like the, like, I guess the not popular signs. For example, like my mom, she's a Scorpio, and I know that Scorpios, they have a really bad rep, right? And there are a lot of things, yeah, like she fit right up in there, and I get it, but she's a great person. Like, I truly do think my mom is very kind, very caring, but she do have some of those real spicy, traits or whatever. And, like I said, that's just what that is. I wouldn't like bet my life on it or nothing like that and just be like, oh my gosh, she's a Scorpio girl, so she's gonna act like this and act like that. Like, it's nothing super crazy like that or anything, but I could see the validity. I think it's definitely very fun. And yeah. Do you guys believe in astrology? Do y'all believe in like zodiac signs and stuff? When I was in like middle school, like beginning high school, so 8th to 10th grade, I was super into astrology, right? And I wanted to like know everyone's sign and know like if I'm compatible. I used to do those little compatibility charts with boys I liked. I still might do that. And all this kind of stuff. And so I would be like, ooh, this is so cute. This is so cool. Lore about me: when I was, I want to say 11 or 12, right? I made a YouTube channel. Been in this. What did they say? I'm true to this, not new to this. So I was like 11 or 12 making this YouTube channel with my friend. And our YouTube channel was called Lurgo Friends because my best friend was a Leo and then I'm a Virgo. And then we would make a little combined friend channel. Her name is Rose. Her birthday was yesterday. Shout her out. But yeah, or not her name is. She's not like deceased or nothing like that. She's alive, thriving, healthy. Love that for her. But yeah, we used to have a channel called Lurgo Friends and we do like little challenges and all this kind of stuff. And it was super cool, right? And yeah, so I think that astrology is something that definitely can like help you make friends, build bonds. It's a fun little thing to talk about. Like, it's cool when things in your sign do line up together and everything like that. And you're like, oh no, they really are like this. Like, I think it's a coincidence for sure, but it's definitely a cool little thing. But I think that's about the extent to which I believe in astrology and everything like that. I would love to go to like an astrology class. I want to know more about like sun and moon and rising and like what that's supposed to mean and all that kind of stuff, just because I think it's really fun. Like, and I don't think there's any harm in knowing it. I know some people, like growing up around very religious people, there are some faith people who are very opposed to it, and they're like, this is witchcraft and da 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 da, and I'm like, okay, I'm just trying to have a good time, Bookie. But other than that, yeah. So anywho, guys, you are your delusional segment of the episode. So your delusional segment actually has to go along with zodiac signs and astrology, but it is, do you believe in angel numbers? So if you don't know what an angel number is, it's basically just a number that reappears like a 111, 222, 444, 777, things like that, right? And they mean something. My angel number is 222, meaning that that's just like a number that I see. That's a number that I feel like presents itself to me a lot, and it just means alignment. And for me, I see that number, and in my brain, it does make me feel as if things are going the way they're supposed to be. I do feel like I'm in alignment or whatever. And I have a 222 necklace that like I wear because I like it, but I intentionally got it because I just want that to be something that like I'm walking in my path is an aligned path. And when I see like numbers reoccurring outside, I like to take pictures. I like to be like, yeah, that's me knowing I'm on a good path, knowing I'm on my way. And that may be a little crazy, but that is the truth, right? And so I do believe in angel numbers to that extent, but I don't know, that may just be me. Not, it may just be me. I know a lot of people do believe in angel numbers. Yeah, I would get my 222 tattooed on me. Like, you know what I mean? I think it's real chill, real fun. And it's just one of those things that I feel like it brings me comfort and it brings other people comfort. So why not? I know some people are very not with angel numbers. Again, someone has told me that is not very faith-based of me. And I was like, okay, you know. So let me know, do you guys believe in angel numbers? And if so, what is your angel number, or what is a number that you just see repeating constantly around you? Getting into the what we watching, I am watching this anime on Hulu called The Apothecary Diaries right now. It is essentially about this lady who has gotten into the palace, and she lives with like I think 3-4 concubines so far that I'm in the show, and her job is to be the poison tester for the food. And she's like real into it, real like, wow, I love this. She be doing experiments on herself and stuff. And then there's this real horny prince, or I think he's the prince. He's someone who be in there, and like she's not really worried about him at all, and he really wants her to be really worried about him, and it's not working out like that, I guess. I've been watching that on Hulu. It's a really fun little watch. I don't have any complaints about it. I think that man that I just told you about, he's kind of strange, but I'm really excited to see where it goes. And then also, guys, I finished The Flash. I don't know what to do with myself for real. So y'all drop them TV show recommendations. I know what I'm going to start next. There's this show by Vince Villaham. I don't know. The guy who created Breaking Bad that I was talking to you guys about last week, Better Call Saul, he's making a show that's streaming, or that's going to start streaming on Apple TV. So that is something I'm definitely going to be picking up on. But let me know what you guys are watching. I've been in the comments. I see y'all are watching Futurama, Futurama, the Bruce Lee movies. We've said a couple things, but keep commenting, guys. Keep letting me know. That is going to be all for this episode of the podcast. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Thank you guys so much for watching. All of my audio listeners on Spotify and Apple, please be sure to rate our show up above. Leave us some comments. Let us know what you guys think. For all of my visual listeners, thank y'all for watching me today. Thank you for tuning in. Please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to the pod. If you guys are interested in more content or just more behind the scenes things, be sure to follow our production company at LT Legacy Productions. And if you want to stay up to date with me or up to date with what I'm doing in my crackheadish life, follow me at LaTerra Wair on Instagram or on Twitter. But thank you guys so much for joining me, and I will see you next week for another episode. Bye. The Your Delusional podcast is produced by LT Legacy Productions and hosted by LaTerra Wair.